Once upon a time, the town of Hamelin was plagued by a terrible infestation of rats. The rodents were everywhere, scurrying through the streets, nibbling at food stores, and even invading people's homes. The townsfolk tried everything to rid themselves of the rats, but nothing worked. Desperate, the mayor called for an emergency meeting. "We need a solution, or this town will be destroyed by these rats," he exclaimed. The council murmured among themselves, but no one had an answer. Just then, a mysterious man dressed in a suit entered the room. "I can rid your town of every single rat," he said confidently, "but it will cost you 1,000 gold coins." The mayor, eager to save the town, agreed. "Do it, and the gold will be yours," he promised. The man known as the Pied Piper walked into the town square. He took out a long wooden pipe and began to play a hauntingly beautiful melody. To everyone's amazement, the rats started emerging from their hiding places, mesmerized by the music. "They're following him!" shouted a villager in astonishment. The Pied Piper led the swarm of rats out of the town and towards the nearby river. One by one, the rats plunged into the water and drowned. Soon, not a single rat was left in Hamelin. When the piper returned to collect his reward, the mayor's attitude had changed. "You've done well," the mayor said, "but 1,000 gold coins is far too much. We'll give you 50 instead." The Pied Piper's eyes darkened. "You promised me 1,000 gold coins," he said coldly. But the mayor simply laughed. "Take it or leave it." Feeling betrayed, the Pied Piper left without a word. However, the next morning, he returned to the town square and began to play his pipe once more. This time, the melody was sweeter and even more enchanting. "What a lovely tune!" a child exclaimed as they stepped out of their house. Soon, all the children in the town followed the music, leaving behind their parents, who were helpless to stop them. The Pied Piper led the children out of Hamelin and into the woods. The townspeople cried out in despair, realizing their mistake. "We must get our children back," one parent said urgently. They went to the mayor, begging him to fulfill his promise to the piper. "We were wrong to deceive him," they admitted. Realizing the severity of the situation, the mayor finally agreed to pay the full 1,000 gold coins. Meanwhile, deep in the forest, the Pied Piper had brought the children to a beautiful valley. The place was like a paradise, filled with vibrant flowers, fruit-bearing trees, and crystal-clear streams. "Here," the Pied Piper told the children, "you will live happily, far away from the lies and greed of the adults." When the promise of payment was finally honored, the townspeople of Hamelin sent 1,000 gold coins to the Pied Piper. The guards carried the heavy chest to the edge of the forest, just as the piper had instructed. They stopped beneath an old oak tree, where they believed the piper was waiting. With trembling voices, one of the guards called out, "Here is your gold, as promised. Now return our children." They placed the chest on the ground, backed away cautiously, and hurried back to the town before the piper could appear. When the piper received the promised gold, he returned to the valley. He played his pipe again, and the children began to follow him back to Hamelin.